He soared to fame on the football field, then became one of the most infamous figures in the U.S. in the 90s during his murder trial, a trial that gripped the nation.
Former NFL star O.J. Simpson has died after a battle with cancer. He was 76 years old. CBS 2's Jim Williams with us now, taking a look back at Simpson's life. And we were talking about this today, Jim. Just the mention of his name brings up strong feelings for a lot of people.
It was astounding, someone that famous and at the time that beloved charged in a double murder, right? You could easily divide O.J. Simpson's life into two parts. The first part, all rosy, as he came to fame as a star football player and as an actor. And then the dark side that began with the murders of his ex-wife and her friend. That chapter includes the most famous police chase and trial in American history.
The world first got to know and like O.J. Simpson for his heroics on the football field, ultimately landing him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Go, O.J., go!
Then as a pitchman, running through airports for Hertz, and acting in hit movies like The Naked Gun.
He's O.J. Simpson. I think you know his record. Could you just send somebody over here?
His life took an ominous twist with the June 12, 1994 killings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman.
Some amazing developments in the O.J. Simpson story, and they do keep coming.
The night of the murders, Simpson flew to Chicago on a red-eye flight, arriving early the next morning for a stay at this hotel that would just last a few hours when L.A. police would summon him to come back home.
Last night, Chicago police assisted the L.A. officers.
That set off a search for clues and a possible murder weapon, the knife, near that O'Hare Airport hotel. The search fruitless. The knife was never found.
The Los Angeles Police Department right now is actively searching for Mr. Simpson.
Just days later, police would be on the hunt for O.J. Simpson. That chase drew worldwide attention. Viewers were glued to their televisions as Simpson rode in a Ford Bronco meandering through Los Angeles. People who knew Simpson pleaded with him to surrender as he threatened to harm himself.
If you can hear me, whoever's in that truck, if you can hear us, please, gentlemen, please just pull over and stop.
That wild chase would lead to what became known as the trial of the century, filled with theatrics like the infamous botched glove try-on and his dream team of attorneys.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
And in the end, that's just what the jury did.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
Simpson lost a separate civil trial and was ordered to pay more than $30 million to the families of Brown and Goldman. The murder seemed to haunt Simpson the rest of his life.
I didn't mean to steal anything from anybody, and I didn't know I was doing anything illegal.
And then he would have more run-ins with the law, ultimately spending 9 years behind bars in Nevada, convicted of armed robbery and other crimes connected to a confrontation in a Vegas hotel room.
I'm not a guy who lived a criminal life. You know, I'm a pretty straight shooter.
Diagnosed with prostate cancer back in February, his family announced his death on his social media page. It says he was surrounded by his children and grandchildren.
The O.J. Simpson trial also underscored divisions in our society. Many black Americans and white Americans viewed the case differently. Black Americans voicing their long-held suspicions of law enforcement. You could say the trial was a litmus test on race. Erica and Joe, I strongly recommend the Oscar-winning documentary in multiple parts, O.J. Made in America. It's brilliant. It covers all of that.
Yeah, and to see all that video takes you right back to that time. And it really was the trial of the century.
Absolutely.
You've heard that used in other trials. That was.
You remember where you were when the verdict was read, when you watched that in court, specifically the glove.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one you won't forget.
And the different reactions to the verdict, depending on where you were.
Thank you, Jim.